Get off your mother and go make some mother sense of yourself. Get off your mother and go do something for your mother self.
Finesse2Tymes jumped on Instagram Live not once but twice and told GloRilla's sister Victoria Woods to pipe down and go secure a bag for herself. This came right after Victoria hit Facebook Live, claiming GloRilla left the whole family behind with nothing but memories and struggle stories. So how did this whole mess explode like that? Let's lay it out step by step. It all kicked off on February 4th, 2026, when Victoria Scarface Woods went live on Facebook and blasted her sister GloRilla for the world to see. She accused her of neglecting the entire family. Victoria said their mom was still working long shifts at FedEx. She said one brother was out here grinding with DoorDash deliveries just to survive. She also said another brother, who is autistic, wasn't getting proper support from the one sibling who clearly had the money to help. Victoria claimed GloRilla had been eating good off fame for 4 years straight and hadn't sent a dime back home. She said GloRilla talks in interviews about their shared pain and struggle, but never actually reaches back to the family who lived through it with her. Then she said, "Y'all mad. I'm talking about y'all's favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't, and my mom is still working that FedEx." That clip spread fast. Within hours, it was chopped up and reposted all over X, Instagram, and YouTube. Everybody had something to say, but nobody came louder than Finesse2Tymes. Finesse, born Ricky Hampton Jr., is a Memphis rapper who came up in the same 2023 XLL freshman class as GloRilla. They share city ties and industry connections, so when Victoria's video started making noise, he didn't stay quiet. He reposted a clip of her rant and wrote, "And somebody tell Gorilla's sister, STFUTU." That was just the beginning. On February 6, 2026, Victoria took it even further and sat down with TMZ. In that interview, she said all she was asking for was $2,500 from GloRilla. That's it. She explained how embarrassed she felt in public. She said, "Out in the streets, you know how embarrassing it is to be at the club? That's Glo's sister and I walk outside to a Chevrolet Malibu." That statement hit hard because it painted a picture of two totally different lifestyles. Finesse saw that interview and went straight to Instagram Live. What followed was a full-on rant that caught fire fast. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He told Victoria she had no business expecting money from her sister's career if she hadn't built something on her own. He said, "You ain't did what you was supposed to did to be somebody." He added, "You don't go to the internet and talk about your folks like that because you ain't got no mother hustle." Then he told her, "Get up off your feet and go make her own money." He even compared Victoria to a cousin of his who always expected handouts without putting in work. He said it was the same energy. The clips of that rant started going everywhere. Academics page, XXL's page, reaction channels all over YouTube. His words were raw, direct, and unfiltered, and now he was fully in the middle of drama that wasn't even his to start with. Victoria didn't back down. She fired back on Facebook and accused Finesse of not taking care of his own mom. She said he don't take care of his mom like Glo. She tried to flip the spotlight onto him and question his credibility. If he was going to preach about hustle and loyalty, she was ready to point out what she saw as his flaws. That move dragged Finesse's mother into the situation. She stepped out publicly and defended her son, shutting down Victoria's claims. Now, what started as tension between two sisters had grown into something much bigger. Multiple families were involved. Multiple Instagram lives were popping off at the same time. Rappers from different corners were throwing in their opinions like it was open season. Then the game entered the chat. He posted on Instagram backing GloRilla and said she wasn't obligated to financially support the whole family. But Finesse wasn't feeling that either. He called the game a hypocrite and brought up his past family drama, basically asking where that same energy was when he had issues in his own house. Finesse made it clear he wasn't co-signing anyone he felt was inconsistent. That's what made Finesse's role hit different. He wasn't just defending GloRilla, he was checking everybody. In his eyes, Victoria sounded entitled, the game sounded selective, and anyone expecting to eat off someone else's plate without bringing something to the table needed to move around. His message was simple and loud. Go get your own.
Get off your mother and go make some mother sense of yourself. Get off your mother and go do something for your mother self.
To really understand why Finesse reacted the way he did, you have to look at exactly what Victoria accused GloRilla of. These weren't vague statements. They were detailed and personal. She painted a picture of a family still struggling in Memphis, while their most famous member kept leveling up without looking back. In her February 4th live, Victoria said GloRilla, born Gloria Woods, had spent 4 years living large while their family stayed stuck in survival mode. She said their mom was still working physically demanding shifts at FedEx, despite having a daughter with hundreds of millions of streams. She said their dad was so strapped for cash he had to borrow $100 from their mom. She described siblings scattered around the city hustling however they could just to stay afloat. She brought up the brother who is autistic again, saying he wasn't getting help from the sibling who could afford to provide it. But what made it sting was how personal she got. She reminded viewers they shared the same house, the same roach-infested rooms, the same busted air mattresses, and the same hungry nights. She felt like those shared struggles became part of GloRilla's success story, but the blessings never came back around. Victoria said, "For you to know how we struggle, for you to know how we got neglected, for you to know how we got mistreated, and for you not to reach back and do set for not one of us." That line made it clear she wasn't just talking money. She was talking loyalty and memory. She also challenged GloRilla's public image. Victoria said her sister often speaks about family hardship in interviews and music, building a powerful rags-to-riches narrative that fans connect with. But according to Victoria, none of that turned into real support behind closed doors. She was basically accusing her sister of profiting off shared pain without sharing the reward. Then she posted, "Same mom, same dad, 10 siblings. Y'all think she this upright of person when she really not. Ain't flew since she got on Gloria Woods. Call my bluff, it's been 4 years. Why the media haven't seen your siblings?" That last question felt sharp. Victoria was implying it wasn't about privacy, but it was about being erased. She followed up with another post saying, "Our parents are not straight. Our dad just borrowed $100 from our mom. I had to give my mom $1,800 on a $2,400 rent because y'all favorite rapper blocked her." That accusation about blocking their own mother was heavy. If true, it would suggest not just distance, but complete cutoff. Then came the TMZ interview that shifted everything. Victoria revealed she was only asking for $2,500. Not a mansion, not luxury cars, just $2,500. For an artist with Billboard hits and major collaborations, that number sounded small. And Victoria leaned into that gap hard. She described being recognized at events as GloRilla's sister, but walking out to a Chevy Malibu while her sister moves in a totally different tax bracket. That image stuck with people. It wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about status, pride, and public perception. Victoria also took aim at the one big thing GloRilla had publicly done for their father, buying him a Jaguar. But instead of praising it, she dismissed it as a flashy but empty flex. According to Victoria, their dad didn't even have gas money to keep it running. In her view, that car wasn't a blessing, it was a symbol. A luxury ride parked outside with no fuel in the tank. All shine, no stability, all drip, no real support. Those accusations hit social media like a shockwave. Victoria wasn't presenting herself as just a hurt sister venting online. She framed it like she was exposing the truth, pulling back the curtain on what she claimed was a gap between GloRilla's public image and private actions. Blogs like The Shade Room, Hot New Hip Hop, Blavity, XXL, and more ran with every detail. Within days, millions had seen the story. Because the claims were so specific and personal, Finesse2Tymes stepped in heavy. He didn't argue point by point about FedEx shifts or Jaguars. He rejected the entire idea that GloRilla owed Victoria anything at all. To him, the foundation of Victoria's argument was flawed from the start. But GloRilla wasn't sitting back quietly while Finesse handled things loudly on live. She chose a different strategy. Less shouting, more proof. Screenshots, phone calls, real-time receipts. And the way she rolled it out shifted the whole energy. On February 5th, 2026, she posted a screenshot to her Instagram story showing a text message allegedly from their mother. The message read, "You do so much for the family. I appreciate everything you do for me and the family." That was a calculated move. Victoria had painted a picture of total neglect. Now GloRilla was showing appreciation straight from the same mom who was said to still be struggling at FedEx. She didn't stop there. She posted more messages, including conversations with their cousin Lena Harris, showing regular communication and financial help. Then she dropped a link to Indeed.com on her story with no caption, no explanation. just the job site link sitting there. The message was clear without her saying a word. If Victoria needed money, there were opportunities out there. That move carried the same message Finesse would later yell about, but GloRilla delivered it in silence. Screenshots instead of shouting. Then she did something most celebrities would never risk in the middle of public family drama. She went live and called her parents on camera in front of thousands of viewers. She asked them directly if she had been taking care of them. It was bold, it was risky, and it was strategic. Her parents reportedly confirmed that she had supported them and that they were no longer working because of her help. That moment shifted public opinion fast. Victoria's strongest talking point, that their parents were abandoned, suddenly looked shaky. If the parents themselves were saying they were supported, the conversation changed instantly. And that's when things took a darker turn. During that same live, GloRilla didn't just defend herself. She flipped the narrative completely. She brought up alleged past incidents that painted a very different picture of why she kept her distance from Victoria. Well, no. She said, "You don't have to say anything you did to me as a kid. We ain't gonna talk about how you got me sent into jail, how you tried to shoot me and then set me up." Those were serious claims. She accused Victoria of trying to set her up. She accused her of trying to shoot her. She said she spent a week in jail because of her. These weren't small arguments over money. These were allegations of violence and betrayal. And she delivered them calmly, like someone who had been holding on to that story for years. She followed it by saying, "I've done a lot. I do not appreciate what Victoria's doing to my family." The wording stood out. She said, "my family," not our family. That subtle shift made it clear that whatever connection once existed between them may have been broken long before Instagram got involved. Now, the focus wasn't just about who paid rent or who bought a car. The conversation turned into something deeper. If someone truly believes a sibling put them in danger in the past, the expectation of financial support becomes complicated. The debate wasn't just about generosity anymore. It was about boundaries and safety. Victoria responded by questioning the authenticity of the screenshots. She claimed their mother doesn't text like that. She continued criticizing GloRilla's career moves and label situation. But by that point, the momentum had already shifted. The story wasn't about DoorDash, FedEx, or a Chevy Malibu anymore. It was about a fractured family history. GloRilla's response also matched the life story she shared publicly before. In her April 2024 interview on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, she spoke openly about growing up in a tough Memphis household. She described living in a home with rats and roaches, sharing an air mattress with her sisters until she was 15. She talked about times when the lights were cut off and the family had to wash up using bottled water. She said she was homeschooled by a very strict, deeply religious mother and didn't enter a traditional classroom until age 10 in 5th grade. Reportedly after an older sibling contacted Child Protective Services. Both sisters grew up in the same house facing the same struggles, but later they chose very different paths. GloRilla turned her experience into music. She worked through the Memphis scene, released Most Likely Up Next 2019 and the P Status EP 2020. In April 2022, FNF Let's Go went viral on TikTok and earned a Grammy nomination. She signed with Yo Gotti's CMG, collaborated with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and dropped a debut album that reached the Billboard 200. She built her brand, catalog, and platform. That was the heart of Finesse2Tymes' argument, build your own success. But the conflict quickly expanded beyond the sisters and became an industry-wide debate. The game publicly supported GloRilla, saying she didn't owe anyone anything. His message was clear. Success doesn't mean automatic financial responsibility to every relative. As a veteran, his backing gave weight to the idea that boundaries aren't betrayal. Finesse responded by calling the game hypocritical, pointing to his past family issues. His stance: you can't preach family loyalty if your own history is complicated. His bold approach kept attention locked in. Freddie Gibbs reacted differently, with humor. Instead of choosing sides, he treated the situation as chaotic entertainment rather than a moral debate. By then, it wasn't just a sibling dispute. It became about trauma, money, loyalty, fame, and public image. Boozy Badazz offered one of the most balanced takes. On February 10th, 2026, he said the public overestimates how wealthy rappers really are. A hit record doesn't equal endless money. Label deals, publishing splits, taxes, tour costs, and management fees reduce earnings dramatically. He stayed neutral. Artists should help family when possible, but not destroy themselves trying to carry everyone. While Finesse told Victoria to hustle and the game said GloRilla owed nothing, Boozy suggested the truth likely sits somewhere in between. Then came an unexpected twist. Tory Lanez, who was incarcerated at the time, allegedly sent Victoria the exact $2,500 she had asked GloRilla for. Victoria confirmed and thanked him publicly. Some felt it made GloRilla look bad, others saw it as strategic, given Tory's own image struggles. Either way, it intensified the drama. Turk backed Victoria, arguing that when someone escapes poverty, family obligations are real. Though not the majority view among artists, it kept the debate balanced. Outlets like Complex, BET, and Hot 97 covered each development. What started as a Facebook Live session turned into a cultural debate. If you make it out of poverty, are you responsible for bringing everyone with you, even those tied to your past struggles? Supporters of GloRilla argued Victoria sounded entitled. Shared blood doesn't mean shared income. Many echoed Finesse's message. Go get your own money. On X, people emphasized boundaries. Some referenced GloRilla's childhood trauma and suggested distance might be self-protection, not abandonment. Victoria's supporters focused on moral responsibility. If you build your image around shared hardship, shouldn't the rewards be shared too? Some YouTube reactions argued $2,500 seemed small compared to GloRilla's success, especially with 10 siblings and aging parents involved. A third group believed the issue should have stayed private. They said taking it to Facebook Live and TMZ made resolution harder, and public responses turned family pain into spectacle. TikTok creators echoed this, questioning why celebrity family disputes unfold online. The controversy sparked broader conversations on platforms like BET and Hot 97 about the pressure artists from poverty face after success. Expectations are often contradictory. Be generous, set boundaries, stay loyal, protect your money, stay humble, support everyone, don't get used. GloRilla isn't the first public figure in this position. Tyler Perry reportedly gave relatives 6 days to find jobs after his mother's death, calling it tough love. Mariah Carey publicly distanced herself from siblings she described as exploitative. In the end, this wasn't just about $2,500. It became a larger conversation about boundaries, loyalty, money, trauma, and what success really obligates you to give back. Eminem built albums around family trauma while maintaining distance from the source of that pain. 50 Cent openly separated himself from relatives he felt were trying to live off his success. Britney Spears accused family members of controlling her life, and public sympathy largely supported her boundaries. In many of those cases, the celebrity maintained or even strengthened their career after drawing firm lines. Meanwhile, relatives who aired grievances publicly often struggled to win long-term support from the internet. Victoria's situation followed a similar pattern. Her first live sparked sympathy and curiosity. The TMZ interview humanized her frustration. But as GloRilla released counter-evidence and raised serious allegations about past incidents, public opinion began to shift. Forums like Lipstick Alley held long debates. Many users concluded that taking the issue so public may have hurt Victoria's case more than helped it. Longtime followers of GloRilla also revisited her past interviews. They pointed out that the family being discussed was the same environment she described as unstable, with limited resources and delayed schooling. Some argued that expecting unlimited financial support from someone who escaped that setting ignores the emotional cost of that history. As of the latest updates, there has been no clear resolution. The situation remains open. A family conflict that was already complicated became even more tangled once it hit millions of screens. Once algorithms grabbed it, the drama stopped being just personal. It became content. Finesse2Tymes' involvement kept the fire burning. Every time something new dropped, he added commentary that sparked another wave of reactions. Whether his defense of GloRilla came from Memphis loyalty, personal principle, or simply refusing to let what he saw as entitlement slide, his presence guaranteed the story stayed hot longer than it might have otherwise.